Now this is Hollywood Unlocked. Yo, what up? It's Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. I'm Jason Lee.
Yo, it's DJ Damas. Let's get this show started.
All right, listen. Our third member of the group here, Melissa Ford, she's not here today. I want to send my condolences to her. Her mother passed away yesterday. She's in Canada, tying up everything there, and she's been dealing with this for a while now. And I know that she's shared publicly her thoughts on losing her mom. And sometimes people feel like they run out of time when it comes to loved ones or family members, and I know she's taking it hard. So we're sending her flowers, and again, sending our love to you, Mel. And we hope that you are, staying strong.
Yeah, hold your head, Melissa. This is tough, but it's good that you're there. You were there for her, and we just send you love and light.
And I also want to send, my condolences to the family of Gregory Boyce. Greg Boyce, I just knew him as Greg. He was in the movie Twilight. He passed away this past week in Las Vegas. He was found dead in his house with his girlfriend. And people are suspecting that, was due to drug usage or overdosing. And, I've known Greg for years. I've known him for a long time. Right after the Twilight movie hit, and I met him in the streets, and he'd be at the clubs, and he was always a good guy. And the thing I liked about him was that he was a street guy, from LA or from the LA streets or whatever. But he would also, go to the gay clubs with his cousin, and be in the streets and be friendly with people who weren't like him. And that was one thing that really that I respected about him, because he wasn't afraid to be transparent. And I really did like that about him. And I was looking at our old text messages, and the text message that I said to him he said to me last was, "Hey, let's go to lunch." And of course, life gets in the way. You get busy. You go on a book tour. You don't call people back, and then they die. And he had posted on his Instagram that he had just recently turned 30, and he said, "Man," oh no, right before he turned 30, he posted an Instagram post, which we'll put up right here, and he basically said that he never thought he would make it to 30. He thought he would make it.
That's
and
crazy.
And then he died at 30. So, condolences to him and his family. And death always does something weird to me. It's just something that I just have never really handled well. My brother Rodney's birthday, who died when I was 19 years old, is in 3 days. It's just always a thing that reminds me that time is limited. And with Rona, there's so much to be appreciative of. Just the fact that we can still eat or have a place to live or have a job or whatever, and all of you that support us, just to wake up, like
to wake up, see a new day.
It's just this one thing to be thankful for. So, shout out to them. And I posted this on my Instagram today. This post, it says, "So many people passing away. Thank God for waking us up every morning." And then I said, "Leave a heart if you see this." And lots of people are leaving hearts. And it's just a reminder that, like, I can look at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and see a dead person or somebody passing or a funeral every single
It's
day.
insane.
Yeah. And I just send my condolences out to everybody.
To everyone. And I don't know if we said it here, man. Of course, rest in peace to Andre Harrell. We spoke on that quickly, but rest in peace to Little Richard, man, the king, the originator, man, the reason we have rock and roll. It was just a few passings I don't know if we got to speak on. We did take a little break, but rest in peace, Little Richard and Andre Harrell.
Yeah, you had a relationship with Andre. I didn't know him. I only met with him once, seen him around a couple times.
Amazing dude, man. One of those guys that is an icon, has done so much, but so personable. Like, you would have to stop Andre from giving you game. Like, he would talk to you so much. He was so engaging. Rest in peace to Andre Harrell, his son. Well wishes to everybody in the family.
Yeah, so this is one of those things where life is life, man, and the only thing promised, I used to always say this is, the only thing that's promised in life is death, which is really true.
No,
but I think it's the in-between that matters, right? Like, how do you create a legacy? And the legacy doesn't have to be as grand as what Obama or Michelle Obama are going to leave, but, it's just what memory do you want to leave on people? And I've been watching the Michelle Obama documentary Becoming. I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times now. Man, it makes you just want to be more and more creative,
do more.
To do more,
Step up.
And this is the time to be doing that, to figure it out. And people are, I think, stressing at home over their job or life or going outside or traveling. I know we all are. We all share in that. But just take a minute to be thankful for the fact that you're still here. and just try to exist in what life is. Like, not what life is going to be, not what life was, but what life is right now. That's been what's helped me through all of my anxiety. It's just, this is what it is. This is not the new normal. This is the normal right now.
It's a hard transition for people. Transition's hard on everyone, but after a lot of people have lost their jobs, they're losing loved ones. And we all want us to live in this moment, but it's hard for a lot of people to realize, it hit them so quick. You used to going to a job every day, you used to taking your kids to school. Now everybody's at home. There's a lot of noise, there's a bunch of time, but also you feel like there's no time. So everybody, find some peace and some stillness and utilize this moment. Don't get caught up on what's not happening, what's not working. Successfully go through your transition, because that's what this is for everybody. If you're used to doing a 9 to 5, going to work, now you might be working from home, or maybe it might be time to start a new job or start your own career, but just embrace this transition. But I know it's hard.
Yeah, and for those of you that are home, I want to know what you're doing. We want to know what you're doing. You can text us the
Hit us
numbers
up
below. The numbers below. Just
right here,
text us a video of what you're actually doing while you're
please.
at home during Rona, and we'll put the video on our next show just so we can continue to build on our relationship with all of you. There's a lot going on.
Woo!
But before we get into the news, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube and watching us frequently. Make sure you're sharing it too, and subscribing to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and where
Everything, literally everything.
we ain't SoundCloud podcasters yet, but when we get there, download us there too. We had to take a week or two off just so we could let y'all miss us a little bit. So there's a lot to get into. Have you been watching the whole return of Tekashi 6ix9ine?
You know what? I knew he was going to come back with a bang. Anybody that thought he wasn't going to come back with a bang is delusional. I knew that was going to happen because everybody's curious on how he's going to play this snitching route, right? That's why I was tuned in. When he went and did his first live, I was like, I got to watch it because I want to see how a rapper is going to try to make snitching cool. And he really is almost doing it. Like, it's not working for people in my generation or, like people like us, Jason, but the kids are going with it. Like, he's calling out other rappers. Like,
let me tell you, for those of you that have missed it, we've actually dedicated a whole episode of Problematic to this guy. And so I don't know when this show is going to air, but if it hasn't aired before if it hasn't aired, if our Problematic hasn't aired before this episode, just wait for it. And if it has aired since we did that episode, go look for it because the shit's going to be hilarious. Because I tried to break down everything he's done because it's been so much. We've interviewed Casanova, we interviewed Fat Joe, we interviewed Whack 100, and everybody predicted exactly what we said. He's going to get out and he's going to do his thing. I've been perplexed at who's to blame though, because
the record label.
No, but I mean for him in general, like for his existence. Is it the record label or is
I still blame the record label?
Really?
Because after really doing some research and seeing how much they own his likeness. So when he was locked up, he wasn't able to tweet. How are we getting these statements from 6ix9ine and all these things? A company's putting that out,
but I mean
his name circulating.
But I mean him even being a name, right? Like this kid put tattoos all over his face. He dyed his hair. He became a brand that got blown up and attached to a street gang who profited off of him, who got clout off of him. And then he snitched on everybody because that's what non-gangbangers do. And then he got out and he's still an internet terrorist. Like, this kid is literally the best troller. I find him fascinating. I said this on Instagram the other day. I find him fascinating because he is defying everything that the culture and street culture said was appropriate. I'm not a gangbanger by any measure. I will call the police. I will walk to the police department to file a report. Now, I'm not as bad as Karen, but I will cite your ass in public too. I will pull out a notepad and I will write down the infraction and I will hand it to you and then call the police.
See, but now and that gets confused a lot in this street culture. If you're a civilian, you can't be considered a snitch, right? Correct. Now, you shouldn't snitch because it's still scary. If you tell him, period, it's going to be scary. But
I don't fear nobody but the Lord, damage.
But if you're a regular, everyday, law-abiding person and someone commits a crime and you tell, it's not really considered snitching. Considering snitching is when you're in on the crime too, and then when they got both of y'all, you're going, oh, he did it, so I can get a lesser sentence. It's like not owning up. So looking at this Tekashi situation, a lot of people are saying like, oh, they did this and they threatened them, and this with his baby mom, but I'm like, he was complicit with a lot of things. He ordered hits on rappers and then snitched on the people he had to do the hits. That doesn't make any sense. If
I think.
I
And, go ahead.
if just say if I wanted to hurt Adam, our producer, right, and I paid you, Jason, to do it, I can't snitch on you for doing something I ordered you to do.
Yeah,
Like
you could. Yeah,
but
you
that's the
could.
crazy
No, no,
part.
no, you could, because I would just take a deal by showing the evidence that you solicited it and that I just was minding my business eating, Cheerios, and here
But you
you
know
come
how
with
it
some
works.
plot.
Whoever take the deal first is the one that controls the narrative.
But this is where I think our community won. I think what you just offered in terms of definition is important, right? Like, if you are a victim of a crime, you have a responsibility to tell, right? But if you subscribe to the street culture and that's where you want to live, you got to subscribe to the rules that govern there too.
Yeah.
I do think that 6ix9ine did a great job of making people question
Yeah.
whether or not he should have told. Because I ain't gonna lie, even me, who can separate the two between somebody in the streets and somebody who's just a victim, I was like, well, damn, if I wasn't a gang and they kidnapped me, robbed me, fuck my baby daddy, because I mean,
You are out
guys,
of
gotta stay on
control.
brand. Gotta stay on brand, even when I'm giving you an analogy. Yeah, would I tell? I don't know. Would I? Probably. But the bottom line is, regardless of what people think, he is still ultra popular, right?
But I feel like is he? We don't know how long he's going to be ultra popular.
It
I
don't
knew as
matter.
soon
We're
as-
talking about right now.
Yeah, I knew as soon as he got out, people are going to be curious, right? So right now you're getting curiosity numbers. Like, I want to see what he's saying.
Curiosity is when I get a nigga a gin and tonic at the bar and then he ends up at my house. That's curiosity. 2 million people, 2 million people on Instagram Live, 55 million people on YouTube in a day. A fight with Billboard.
But look, I went and listened to the song too. I'm not a super fan of Tekashi, but I wanted to hear what is he talking about. I want to hear the subject matter. Like, after you done told on all your homeboys, how are you going to make a song talking about shooting people at the chicken spot? No, you're not.
Well, maybe he is shooting them at the chicken spot, and maybe he will tell when he gets caught for that too. But either way, I don't know what a gooba is, or a gumbo, or a gumma, or none of that, or whatever this. I don't even know. Like I've said, I am not of the generation that listens to that music. Now, his video was great. It was very comical. He had the rat face. He had the girls, all girls of color. His lace front was laid. I mean,
is that a lace front?
Listen, his hair was laid. Shout out to Jonathan. He did a great job. But the kid is back. But I was talking to somebody that actually made me think of something else. All these rappers knew he was getting out. All these rappers know he's a troll, and all these rappers knows the power of his social influence. So I kind of feel like Meek Mill, French Montana, Rich the Kid, Lil TJ, all these rappers who are fighting with him are doing so for clout.
Nah.
Yes.
Not all of them. Maybe some.
Let me tell you something.
Of course.
Why did
clout chasing?
Meek Mill just had a baby. You're supposed to be a part of a reform organization with Jay-Z getting niggas out of prison. Why are you focused on a guy that you say is a rat, Meek? Now, I like Meek Mill, and I don't want
think
no
about
smoke.
it, Jason. But think about the background. Somebody that served so much time as Meek Mill, watching somebody go scot-free after snitching on their homies, it's going to hit you differently than, I can't speak for every other rapper, right? But for people that done time and probably been in situations where they could have told and got a lesser sentence, and got homies that's probably locked up right now that probably could have told and got a lesser sentence, it probably just aggravates him to see this guy out here and walking around smiling and making videos. Meanwhile, there's 10, 20 people locked up that can't see their families for the next 15 years.
As a person like me who's advocating to get somebody out of prison, it aggravates, I'm going to use your word, it aggravates me to see a rapper named Meek Mill, who's a part of the whole reform movement of getting people out of prison, fighting online with a guy who just got out of jail for snitching about gang culture. Like, pick a side. You cannot be all about prison reform and saving kids in our streets and wanting to do better for the black culture, but then on the other side throwing up mice emojis right after you had a baby. Like, you got to choose the life that you want to live. You can't say you stand with Cap and then go create a deal with a partnership with the NFL. Jay-Z.
But isn't that what we love about our artists, though?
No,
no. We do, because look, I hate it. we have this love for Tupac, and he was the same way. Tupac was the most. His messages were so contradictory in theory. If you really look
Nope.
at it,
I'm gonna school you. Nope. Nope. You too young to know this. Nope. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, but nope.
I'm too young to know about Tupac's messaging.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
no, no
Yes.
way. I
Damage.
feel
How
like
how old were you when Tupac died?
think what is he 95 when he died, or was it 90?
I'll give or take a year. Go ahead.
I was 5.
You was in kindergarten playing with Play-Doh. You was playing with Play-Doh.
That has
I
nothing
was
to
in
do with knowing
I
what
was in
Tupac
high
message
school.
was.
I was in high school. Listen to me. Tupac was a poet that merged street culture with real issues of and struggles in the black community. But he wasn't saying, let all my niggas out of prison. This is I'm all about reforming the prison system and sitting at the table with legislators and around governing the laws for people of color. No, he was he was a rapping Black Panther. That's how I would.
He
That's
was
how I
a
would define
rapping
Tupac.
Black Panther, but at the same time, he was disrespecting women. He talked about killing other rappers. So it
Here
was
go
like,
damage and turn into C. Dolores Tucker. Here we
what I'm
go.
saying is, isn't that what we love about artists, that they can give us both? It's like they want to do better. We see the growth in Meek Mill. I see the growth in somebody like Tupac, but he still is who he is. So, him being aggravated by somebody like Tekashi 6ix9ine, I can see how that can strike a chord. But I feel like Meek has made much, much progress.
I was a fan. First of all, I like Meek Mill. I respect what he's been doing in trying to reform the prison system, specifically after he was, targeted by that black judge in Philadelphia, right? Like I'm all for that. Where he loses me is when he gets off message, right? He loses me when he gets off message. Why are you even focused on? Wait,
I think
wait,
we
hold on,
all
hold on, hold
agree
on, hold
that.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. 6ix9ine didn't even come for Meek. Meek came for 6ix9ine, and he did so because he knew exactly what we all know. If you come for 6ix9ine, he gonna come for you. And guess what? Regardless of what you feel, and Meek, you're on Rock Nation. Jay-Z said it before I did. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. More people are paying attention to 6ix9ine than they are to Meek Mill. Am I lying there?
But Meek Mill has nothing going on right now.
You said it,
He's
not me.
he's not promoting anything right now. He's taking a break.
Well, just like Tekashi said, okay, and I'm so disgusted that I'm quoting this kid. Trust me, people, I understand. People are now saying, "Oh, Jason Lee's on Tekashi's payroll." No, I just always try to find the most unpopular opinion when it counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that Tekashi 6ix9ine is a street thug? No. Do I think that people should do dirt and then go snitch? No. You live by the streets, you die by the streets. I believe in that because that's what my family has had to do.
Mm-hmm.
But do I believe that nowadays street guys, gangs, neighborhoods are putting these celebrities on because they're getting paid to do it? They're paying for protection. They're paying for clout. They're paying for the association to make them some type of credible street guy. Yeah, and you know what? The gangs sold out each other first. So you can't blame 6ix9ine. I think if you look at cancer, do you go and look at the spot on your skin and say, "Ooh, that it's that spot's fault"? No, you look at what was the causation of the cancer. Was it genetics?
It was Wax saying that too, though. I think
Pretty
somebody
much,
had,
pretty
yeah, he
much.
was
But
saying like it's not necessarily his fault. It's like who brought him around. Like if you know somebody's not cut from that cloth, why would you bring him around, or not even bring him around because they could have did that? Why do incriminating things around this person knowing he don't follow the same code as y'all? There's a lot of people to take blame for this situation for sure.
I was told early in the game, I was told, do not do no dirt with nobody that you know you can't trust. Now,
Yeah.
think about it. We never really know who we can't trust until we can't trust them, right? But you do get to a certain level of experience when you in the streets. You come from Philly, I come from Stockton. When you are in the streets, you know who not to fuck with. You see how shady niggas move because you can watch how they do it with other people. So when you see somebody like Tekashi, who he said on the Breakfast Club, I didn't do no dirt. Why should I do the dirt? Because he got the money. He got the clout. He don't have to do the dirt. He got people for that. And you know a lot of rappers. I know a lot of people. They all got people, right? So I just kind of feel like you created this monster. And now I think what's happening is you're using them for clout. Now, none of these rappers would buy a ticket to go watch his show or do a feature with him because then you are overtly supporting a snitch, right? But I guarantee you they on his live. I guarantee you they're watching his video. I guarantee you they're watching all his moves because guess what? Right now, he has the recipe for getting the world's attention.
You know what I was laughing at when he went live and he started shouting out certain rappers? I wonder, I was wondering how they felt. He was like, shout out to Tory Lanez, shout out to Drake. It was like, oh, okay, so you got some homies while you was locked down, huh? They were sending you letters.
Well, one of his friends that he doesn't have is Billboard. You want to get into that?
All right, yo. So just days after 6ix9ine exposed Billboard for playing favorites and manipulating chart data, the publication has now Control-Alt-deleted his profile and all of his chart history on the platform. So on Friday, which was May 15th, the following release of his comeback track, Gooba, 6ix9ine took to Instagram to break down a Hot 100 forecast sent to him to his label for the beginning week, Monday, May 18th. Check this out.
What I'm about to show you is a forecast, right, of what every label in the world gets. Atlantic, Interscope, Republic, Columbia, Sony, Universal Music. Every label gets this, right? This forecast was today, Friday. So it was sent yesterday. This is the forecast from yesterday, right? Number 1, Doja Cat, Say So. Number 2, 6ix9ine, Gooba. Number 3, The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. 4, Megan Thee Stallion. Number 5, Ariana Grande was Stuck With You. Last night, which is completely illegal, last night, last second, like last hour, Stuck With You by Ariana Grande submits 60,000 units out of nowhere, completely out of nowhere. This is the forecast they sent every label. It puts Ariana Grande was Stuck With You at 43.7, which jumps 12 points. They went from being 5th place to 1st place out of nowhere, right? It puts Gooba 40 points. So Gooba never jumps to number 1, but Ariana jumps from number 5 to number 1. And then they post for a very limited time. So Billboard, I'll be real disappointed because this is for every rapper, artist in the world, every genre. If you manipulate the charts, right, and you create bundles, let's go to Gooba, right? Let's go to Gooba real quick. Gooba streamed over 200 million streams, more than Stuck With You, Doja Cat, more than every artist that released a song this week, double the times. It's a landslide, right? Sony, Doja Cat is, I believe it was Sony. Sony placed an audit to Billboard and they said, we want to see your numbers because we're not comfortable being number 3. We want number 1. I mean, no, I think they said we're comfortable with Tekashi being number 1, but why are we number 3? So Universal Music has put an audit in and Sony has put an audit in because literally you're manipulating the charts now. So Billboard, the world is watching and saying, why y'all cheat? If y'all doing this to every artist in the world, how can an artist that works hard get number 1? How?
That was crazy. That was crazy.
I mean, Jay-Z's been saying it. Nicki's been saying it. I mean, I think when Nicki was saying nobody wanted to like really listen. Mm-hmm. But once Jay-Z started saying it, Nicki's been saying it. Like everybody's been questioning Billboard for a while.
But the crazy part was Billboard got in a fight with a snitch and he told on him.
He told on them and then they deleted everything.
But now that's the problem. Now, okay, I need everybody to hear me out. I am not a fan of Tekashi 6ix9ine. I do not know him personally. I do not. I've never been to a show. I met the kid once in passing. We don't talk like that, but I'm going to always keep it a buck, right? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, Damage. You have been in the business for a while. You've met everybody. You've interviewed the Nas's and then this and that. If Billboard took down Rihanna's charting,
that's crazy.
What would happen?
That made them seem guilty to me. To me, I was like, wait, you're going to delete everything he's ever put out? Like,
you know what my friend told me?
What?
He said, do you know how he's an artist, right? An upcoming artist that hasn't been on the charts. Like, you know what he said? He said, let me break down how significant this is. Me and Tekashi 6ix9ine in the eyes of Billboard are now on the same level.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They took, first of all, I mean, I didn't know how Billboard work. Is it like a private thing? Is it a public thing? Like they can just do that? They could just take down.
That's like the Grammy. That's like the Grammy saying, well, if you, Kanye West, since you have attacked us with your opinion, I'm now going to take away all your Grammys. What?
But it just shows you how powerful 6ix9ine is, because I would think a publication like Billboard would just be like, "Oh, it's not true," and then ignore it. But for them
or
to,
not even respond to it.
that's crazy.
But for the people in the public who don't understand this, right? So all the fans, all of you that are doing the streams, buying albums, waiting for it to come out, showing up to support your favorite artist, they are all depending on that behavior for Nielsen ratings, which then helps their Billboard charting. So, am I right so far?
No, and to piggyback off what you're saying, there's people who have record contracts based on the Billboard charting on if they're going to get better advances, bonuses for their deals. So Billboard is extremely important in the music game.
And so to take away, have you ever in your life heard about Billboard removing an artist charting because they disagree with them?
First of all, they never took Nicki's stuff down. Nicki been going at them for a while. Jay-Z
but let me tell you why they can't take away Nicki's stuff. She's too big of a popular artist. Like the Barbs can suck a cock, right? But in terms of Nicki Minaj as an artist, in terms of her contribution to music and all of the different hits she's had and features she's had on people's shit, Monster is still something I sing in private. And looking ass nigga, I will sing that in my house. I don't sing along to her songs in public. Yeah, oh yeah, I would never get caught. Can you imagine me getting caught nodding my head to a Nicki Minaj song? Nah, Chun-Li got to stay in the headphones. I'm sorry, but the idea that they would take, if they took Nicki Minaj's charting, I'd be right here saying, you know what, that's some bullshit because she earned it. Period. She earned it.
Now, he was mad. This all came about when Ariana Grande had a single that came in with 60,000 units like last minute and took kind of like his Billboard placing.
She was using all them extra credit cards.
That's what Tekashi was saying. But Justin Bieber came out and made a statement.
Yeah, I know. You know that? Listen, Justin Bieber still, he's one of those newfound Christians that found God and all of a sudden everything is wrong. And I think Ariana Grande is the most overrated artist in the history of music. I don't understand why people like her.
She can sing. She can sing. She got a powerful voice.
She can sing. I just don't want to look at her singing. It's like hanging out in a nursery. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear these kids singing.
No, that's just me. But Bieber was caught before trying to tell his fans how to manipulate the system to get him the number one. So when he put out the statement against Tekashi, I was like, all right, but I don't really know. Should I read it?
Yeah.
He said his streams don't count. Yes, they do. He's counting his global streams, and this is his domestic chart. So only domestic streams count. So he's saying 6ix9ine got it wrong. 60,000 units came because we don't disclose our numbers until the end of the week. That's called strategy. So he's trying to sun 6ix9ine right here. He said 30K was bought on 6 credit cards, but that's a lie. The rules are clear. 1 credit card can buy 4 max copies. Anything over that entire amount gets thrown out. Nielsen companies checks this out, found all our sales were legit because our fans are amazing and bought them. Don't discredit our fan base with false info.
Well, I don't want to get into a fight with Justin Bieber because I like him. I just saw him recently, right before Rona showed up and took her earrings off and whooped our ass. I saw him at church, and he was a little off key singing his church music with Kanye, but nonetheless, he really does love God. He's married and he's happy, so whatever. But all I will say is, there was also controversy recently where I guess they took Nicki Minaj's number one from her. Her and Doja Kitty, they hit number one with "Say It, Say So."
Yeah,
Say It,
Say
is it
So.
Say It Ain't So?
Say So.
Say So. Okay. Say it. I don't know if you say so. Okay, cool. Say so. I don't listen to stuff. But they had reached the number one, and fans were claiming that online, social media was saying that fans from other countries were re-registering their phones to the United States to be able to mass purchase or stream the album. They got their number one. Then they're not number one anymore, but they lost their number one after the first week. Although shout out to them, they did make history with Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce for women, I think at number one at the same time.
Let's just be real. Everybody's cutting corners trying to sell these records, and I ain't mad at them. But when you get caught, you got to own up.
Own it.
What it is.
Own it.
Own up. Look, if I was in the music game and I knew how to swindle a number one, I'm doing it.
Well,
I'm doing it. Why wouldn't I do that?
I just did my first record. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna get 1,000, but I'm gonna be on a chart somewhere in the top 1,000 Is there a
Yep. Send me the
1,000? Is there a 1,000 chart?
the hot 1,000. No, it's just a hot. It's a 200, and then it's a hot 100.
Well, I
The
got
2,000.
I got a pretty decent feature, so
Look,
I'm
all
hoping.
we get our credit cards popping off.
Yeah, buy 30,000 each. I mean, you get 30,000, I get 30,000. We right there with Justin and Ariana.
Hello.
I still won't ever forget Ariana licking that damn donut. Let's put the video in here. All right, I'm done with them. Let's move on.
All right, y'all. It's time for another Hollywood hookup.
All right, so listen, since we're in the house and Rona's still out there harassing everybody, I've been working on detoxing, and I got a new detox that I want to share with everybody because this is actually one of my favorite. And Damage is going to read while I play Vanna White and show you the products.
Yes, it's called Embrace Pangea. It's a holistic company offering premium herb-infused natural hygiene products and herbal detoxes. They have a wide variety of products that fit your daily health and hygiene needs, such as the 5-star rated Pangea wash for the ladies. It's all natural, pH balanced, foaming feminine wash with rose and honeysuckle extracts, and their essential 18 detox tea.
Okay, but wait, before you go any further, Damage, let's slow down on the feminine wash. Now, y'all were cute. Y'all were being cute sending me this feminine wash, but since I don't have the parts for this, I'm going to give this to my neighbor.
That's right. Give it to a neighbor. And with something you can use is their essential 18 detox tea that's packed with 18 powerful non-laxative. Okay, let's mention that non-laxative herbs to remove stuck on waste from your colon wall. So if you're trying to clean all that out, this is for you. So if you're looking for a natural way to promote healthy gums, better breath, and overall healthy and oral hygiene routine, you can check out the Rinse Advanced Botanical mouthwash. Now that's essential for everybody with that hungry breath during quarantine.
And ladies, if you need to wash your other mouth, get this because I don't need it.
Oh my God. Use the discount code UNLOCKED to get 10% off your first order.
Yeah, what are you waiting for? Detox and clean that colon now.
And that was your Hollywood hookup.
So what else is happening? You're a basketball fan.
Yo, man. So, The Last Dance, everybody's talking about the MJ documentary. And if you watch the later episodes, they talk about the NBA legend, man, one of my favorite players, Karl Malone. He's a Hall of Famer, 4-time All-Star NBA player, man. Karl Malone is that dude. But
he's also the guy that didn't want to play with Magic Johnson when he got HIV because he was afraid he was going to catch it.
And yeah, I mean, that didn't age well. That was old times, But for some reason, some of his dirty laundry's popping up. It was reported that he impregnated a 13-year-old girl named Gloria Bell while he attended Louisiana Tech University back in 1984. Now, he was 20 years old at the time, and Bell's son, Demetrius, was born. Bell's parents took Malone to court for a paternity test in 1986, but he never faced any charges afterwards. So, like I said, with the final chapters of The Last Dance ending in Utah, a lot of people was like, yo, let's really talk about what's going on with Karl Malone and this baby he had with a 13-year-old. Now, shout out to Demetrius. He played for the NFL. He played for my Eagles, so I do know of him. And reportedly, Karl Malone did not want a relationship with him after he was born, but they officially met when his son, his illegitimate son, Demetrius, was 17 years old.
How you don't want a relationship with a kid that you created out of an unlawful act? And you know what? So let me just picture this, right? There was a 20-year-old. Let's put Karl's picture up right here. Okay, here's Karl Malone. And side by side, we're gonna put a 13-year-old girl, right? So this 20-year-old, big ass, tall ass basketball player
He's huge.
was putting his adult size Snickers in this little kid, and then got her pregnant, and then went on to be a revered, world-renowned basketball player, homophobic basketball player, by the way, because he was scared of catching HIV from Magic. I'm gonna leave that there. You can figure that out. And I don't know why this is an issue, but his other son, actually recently came forward. He had a lot to say, and this is what he said.
He made a mistake, but at the end of the day, he's still a great dad. He still takes care of Demetrius. Demetrius is my brother. I love him to death. I mean, my dad's a part of all of his kids' lives. And people want to think he's not, but I mean, he literally does anything for us. And he would do it, he'd take a shirt off his back for anybody. That's just who he is. And, you know, it's just all that stuff that people say about him just takes away from what a great player he was and what a dominant player he was. And it, you know, it doesn't only hurt me, but I mean, it hurts me seeing my mom, because my mom literally deals with all this shit. She's the rock of the family. And me and my dad had social media. He'd be on here, the same thing. But I mean, my dad's just a country boy. I mean, he still has a damn flip phone. So, I mean, I just think, me as one of his sons and seeing all this stuff said about him on Twitter, I just wanted to step up. And I mean, I don't care what y'all think about my dad. I'm just telling you what kind of guy he is.
So what you think, damn it? Should Karl Malone, the mailman, should he be nailed to prison?
You know, the funny thing is, if social media was out back then, they would have tore him to shreds. I feel like the situation is bigger than what we see. I feel like a 20-year-old basketball
20
star,
years old, bigger.
What I do feel like is, first of all, I think it's disgusting. I don't rock with that. But I do know, when I was even coming up in school, there was a lot of young girls talking to 20-year-old men. I had a girlfriend that was 13 that cheated on me with a 22-year-old dude. So I know that was like a thing. I don't know why, but that was a thing. I do feel like people got in his head when this baby was born. He is a superstar in high school, college. I feel like people told him, don't have a relationship with this girl. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was manipulated to probably go against his best judgment in a lot of ways. I'm not letting him off the hook, but I know when you're a superstar and you somebody of that stature back then.
Like R. Kelly.
Kelly, I can't really relate the two. R. Kelly, I can't relate the two.
Well, they both are popular, extremely famous, revered by their constituents and their communities, and then got caught and nothing happened. But R. Kelly's sitting in a prison cell right now, dying of boredom because his illiterate ass can't read the Bible, and he ain't got no cards to play with. He ain't got no girls to piss on. And Karl Malone is somewhere sitting up eating a Klondike bar, watching the fucking Last Dance.
I'm not
hoping that we don't talk about him.
But I'm not comparing him to R. Kelly. He wasn't.
They was fucking the same girls.
He wasn't continuously trapping and luring in young girls for years and years.
So let me understand something. If I inject heroin into my veins once, but I inject it in there 10 times, am I not using heroin? I think so.
It's different, Jason.
Right. And that's why the mailman ain't worried about no postage, because he don't see prison as a destination. But guess what, Karl? How to catch a predator?
Oh no, they getting Karl out of here. They can get Karl out of here. But I do feel like the reason he didn't have a relationship with his kid, and I don't know this for a fact, but I do know there's probably people in his ear, from family to agents to everybody, manipulating. He's still a young man, probably telling him to do something against his better judgment.
Only because I want to piss everybody off. Lil Boosie has just pissed me beyond. He's already a homophobe. Like, the nigga should be in prison too. I'm going to keep saying this until they lock him up. He recently, a video surfaced and we posted on Hollywood Unlocked, said that he had his young son's dick sucked by a grown woman when he was 12 years old. Here's the video.
I'm training them boys right. Ask in them my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hell yeah, I got my fucking son dick sucked. You fucking right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown. Super grown. Checked his ass out. Checked all my nephews out. Super grown. Is she grown? She checked me out. I know what the fuck she did to them. She checked me out, that bitch. I'm getting them prepared, man.
Why is this permissible? Why?
I just don't know why we need to be told this information. I feel like, I mean, if that's what you get into, Boosie, with you and your family, like, why do we need to know that? Now, the funny part is he's not the only person doing that. There's mad stories out there of rappers and young artists by somebody older, you know, forcing them to have sex with older women. I haven't heard it in the Usher story. I didn't heard it in the Bow Wow story. This is a
Well,
thing.
Lil Twist came on to Hollywood Unlocked and said that he'll never be the same after the whole Carter experience, because in the documentary, Baby said that he had that done to Wayne.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So this is like a thing. So it's not like this is just a Boosie thing. This is a thing that happens, period.
So is it okay then?
No, I don't think it's okay. I still understand why we got to hear it. If that's what you do for your son, why does the world need to know what you and your son do? I don't think it's cool. I feel like
because he probably feels like it's my son's dick and I can do what I want with it.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of times, even like in the music industry, when you put young people in these predicaments, they're still scared. Rather, if the person like girls or not, you trying to force a 13-year-old boy to be with a grown woman, that could still be traumatizing, even if the person loves girls. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot goes into that. Like you're forcing him to do something that he might not want to do. So,
and why did she have to be grown?
Jason, because that's a whole bigger issue.
I'm just saying.
If he finding little girls, that is
I know. There's no.
That's
right
another
way.
Karl Malone issue.
There's no right. Well, he got off. I mean, we look how fast we forgot about him because he's not in jail. He's not even under indictment. He's not even being investigated. But here's my question: if T.I. would have taken his daughter at 12 to have sex with a 20-year-old man or 21-year-old man to prove that she wasn't a lesbian, we would be outraged right now.
It'd have been crazy.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Like I said, it's still trauma in that. Like you can't force somebody to have sex if they don't want to. Not saying his son don't want to. Who knows what his son wanted? Because it didn't matter.
Maybe his son did want it, but just because your son wants heroin, do you shoot his veins up too?
No, you're making a great point.
I mean, your son wants to smoke a blunt at 12. Do you pass it to him? No, you shouldn't.
I just say, Boosie, if that's how you get down with your family, we don't need to know, bro. We don't need to know that. Keep that on in the family. Keep that out of Instagram. Everything don't need to be on Instagram. Well, what is quarantine doing?
I want to know what you guys think. Text the word show and what you think to the number below and tell us what you think about this. Because I'm outraged. So do that, please. I'm done.
Speaking of outrage, you know Donald Trump is he's no stranger to outrage. He recently announced during a press meeting, a briefing on this past Monday, that he was taking hydroxychloroquine. I'm sorry, Jason.
It's hydroxychloroquine.
Hydroxychloroquine. Okay.
This is not hydroxycut for all of you trying to find your abs. This is like some real high level shit that the FDA has not approved for treating COVID-19.
Yeah, apparently he wanted to jump on something that wasn't approved. I wouldn't be taking that shit. But according to the New York Post, President Trump said he started taking the drug after receiving a letter from a doctor about the anti-malaria drug benefits. He states the doctor told him none of his patients have fallen ill or died after receiving the treatment.
But he didn't only just take the drug though. He actually, in a press conference with the worldwide media, said this.
A lot of good things have come out about the hydroxy. A lot of good things have come out. And you'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. The frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine?
I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine.
When?
Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it. Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right, I'm not going to get hurt by it. It's been around for 40 years for malaria, for lupus, for other things. I take it. You know the expression I've used, John? What do you have to lose? Okay, what do you have to lose?
So I have
been taking it for about a week and a half.
Every day?
At some point, every day. I take a pill every day. At some point, I'll stop.
So that came as a shock to people. People didn't know that the president of the United States, who has the country that has the most cases, was actually using a drug that was not supported by the FDA, to treat COVID-19 that he does not have, allegedly.
So what's the big story? Is the big story that he's taking something the FDA didn't approve, or that he's saying he didn't have
damage
COVID, but he's taking a under the counter kind of COVID
damage? Your president is an idiot. You don't remember he just said this.
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning, because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, so if you're telling the country that they could put bleach in their system to kill it, and then now you're using a drug that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, that is a part of our country's government, that says what you can and cannot use, what's safe and not safe, that you're using this medicine to treat COVID-19 that you don't have, or to prevent it, you can then create a surge in other people trying to access a drug that the FDA is saying, we do not support you taking this drug.
Now, I think it's completely idiotic, but I do like that at least he follows his own advice. Like, if he's going to tell you to do some dumb shit, at least he's doing it too.
Yeah,
like lead by example.
This is not the only reason why this is in the news. He's actually under fire because, as you know, he has a loose mouth. He's worse than the bottom in West Hollywood. That mouth is always moving. He had some disrespectful shit. He always calls somebody fat or overweight. Well, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who I love, she's literally my spirit animal. They've been fighting ever since before, he was impeached, and after the impeachment, I think they're going to fight all the way into her grave or his grave, whichever comes first. But she was recently talking to a reporter about him saying that he's using hydroxychloroquine, and she had this to say.
He's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved by the scientists, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese, they say. So I think it's not a good idea.
Well, he actually responded to her, and he said this.
Pelosi is a sick woman. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of mental problems.
and then Nancy did what my petty ass would do. She doubled down, and this is what she had to say.
I think he should recognize that his words weigh a ton.
Look,
petty boots.
I feel like everything is like an IG Twitter battle now, even politics.
I'm here for it. I think Nancy's been kicking his ass and she's amazing. But do you think the president of the free world should be out publicly talking about using a product or a medicine for a international pandemic, a worldwide pandemic that doesn't work or is proven to be dangerous?
No, but can any other people get their hands on hydroxychloroquine?
Yeah. I have a friend who used it for when she had arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and she used it. And she said it had serious side effects, and she was like, "This is not a good drug." Yeah.
Oh well, hell no. I mean, and at the same time, do we trust the FDA? It's so many ifs here. It's so many ifs. Do I trust Trump? Not really. Do I trust the FDA? Not really. But I tell you this, I'm not taking no anti-malaria, nothing.
Right.
I'm not taking none of that. So hell no.
Adam, who shoots our show, I think he's taking anti-malaria drugs because we were supposed to go to Africa, but they were scammers and we never made it. But that's a whole other episode.
And they made you take the drugs still?
Well, I asked Adam to go take his first. I just never got around to it, but we didn't go. Sorry, Adam.
All right, y'all. It's time for another Hollywood hookup.
Listen, I have been bored in the house and in the house bored. And so I ordered a PlayStation in every game I could, but I've killed everybody on Call of Duty. So now me and my best friends, Melissa Ford and DJ Damage, needed a new game to play. And so we downloaded Best Fiends. And DJ Damage, what do you think about the game?
First of all, Best Fiends is dope because let's be honest, we all need a break every now and again. And why not, get your brain active while you relax. So that's why, me, Jason, Melissa, we play this fun puzzle game. It's called Best Fiends. It's like an oasis of fun. You can take it everywhere. You can experience some me time with it, right? You can escape from everyday reality. So when me and Jason are playing, I'm always winning, but he does a good job.
Well, that's because I'm more into the game, trying to massage my brain a little bit. I'm getting up there in age, so Alzheimer's, not trying to see you anytime soon.
Exactly. Now there's thousands of fun challenges and tons of adorable characters to collect along the way. So it's super fun. It's super interactive.
For those of you that like something new, you can update the game every month. So that way it doesn't get boring. And if you ain't got no internet, you don't need it for this game. It don't need an internet. It don't need the internet in order to be functional.
Exactly. And there's a bunch of like you said, it updates every month. So there's a bunch of dope themed challenges. You can collect characters. So you don't have to play as the same character all the time. It's really fun to play with your friends. And like Jason was saying, man, it's like a brain game. So if you into expanding your mind and doing that, this is a perfect way to have fun and also massage your brain so you don't start forgetting stuff.
And I don't want to hear nothing about people saying you don't have time to play no games, because we all got time. So right now you can fill up your time with your best friends with Best Fiends.
Yeah, so before I go to sleep, I like to get on and play, like, it helps me put me to sleep. Sometimes when I wake up, when I'm eating breakfast, I'm playing the game, but Best Fiends is dope, and we want you to check it out. So Best Fiends has thousands of levels already, with new levels, events, and characters added every month. It's hours of fun right at your fingertips, and even play offline. You don't need any Wi-Fi. With over 100 million downloads and tons of 5-star reviews, Best Fiends is a must play. Download Best Fiends free on Apple Store or Google Play. That's Best Fiends without the R. Best Fiends.
Fiends, like people that are addicted to buying on Amazon, which is something that I am.
And that is your Hollywood hookup.
Do you think that white people can say nigga?
No. Nah, it don't really bother me no more, but no, overall they shouldn't be saying it. No.
When Adam first started working for Hollywood Unlocked, we went to Essence Festival, right? It's always weird when like I'm at an event with like a bunch of pro-black shit, me and all my black people, and then I bring some of my staff who are not black, because I just never know what can happen. They may feel comfortable, like, pass me that fried chicken, my nigga, and then all of a sudden now unemployment rate has been added because Adam don't have a job, right? Mm-hmm. So Adam, I didn't know, was also a rapper.
Adam, you rap?
I think it was like AK-47 or something like that. Well, anyway, because his last name is Costello, AK. It was typical cliche white shit, right? So Kendrick Lamar's on stage rapping, and I look over, and Adam's rapping every word, and I sat back in my seat like, this nigga better not say nigga, because then we're going to have a problem, right? Because I don't think white people should use nigga either. But when you use the N-word when you're rapping along to a song, is it okay?
You know what? This is the problem. I feel like if you don't want people to say it, why do y'all? This is so tough, Jason. I don't know what to say, because this is the thing. We don't want nobody saying the N-word, but when these rappers go to festivals and everything, and when YG had my nigga out, right? He would drop the music and let them all say it. So
and they got to say it twice.
The whole hook. And I'm just like, okay, so do we want them to not say it, but it's only okay in concert? Is it okay? Like, that's where I just let it go, because it's like we keep putting it in songs, and when these rappers perform it in front of white crowds, no one's upset then. So I don't know, man. I don't personally want white people to say it, but at the end of the day, it's like it's beyond me now.
Well, recently we posted on Hollywood Unlocked, the Bachelorette, Hannah Brown. She's a white chick, cute girl, by the way. She was rapping along to a song over social media. It was the Baby song, Rockstar, and she said this:
Brand new Lamborghini, like a cop car, with a pistol on my wrist like I'm a cop. Have you ever seen a real nigga rock star? It's no good guitarist, man, so throw it.
And that sparked a lot of controversy, because the black Bachelorette had a lot to say about it. And Rachel, who, by the way, shout out to Rachel, she was on Wild 'N Out. She's pretty cool. She dates a non-black man, but that's besides the point. She didn't like it, and she said this:
but when you're bold enough to say the N-word on camera, on your platform, then you need to be bold enough to use your face and you're on camera and apologize in the same way that you said the word.
Now, some people are going to be like, man, girl, you was the first black bachelorette. You better shut your ass up and stop causing problems. And then now the black bachelor, he even said something. He said this.
People coming at me because I'm not defending women of color because of something that Hannah Brown did. She shouldn't have said the N-word. It's pretty damn simple to me, right? I haven't seen the video. I would like to see the video, but people don't come at me like I'm watching everything that's going on between all my cast members on the show. Like, bruh, I love my black woman. It's that simple.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like when you
it seems so innocent, but at the same time, she should know better. She's a grown woman. But it's like, when do you know better? Because when you go to the festival, you're allowed to say it all day long. Like, there's 30 artists performing where you can say the N-word in the crowd.
Well, I'm going to double down. If you are white and you love rap music, because music is the balance between all races and cultures, it is the equalizer. Music brings us all together. Mm-hmm. And you come to my city of Los Angeles by way of Stockton, California, and we run into YG at Roscoe's, and you see YG having dinner, and you walk up to his table and say, my nigga, I'm not going to be mad at you because he created a song that he wanted everybody to buy. And if you happen to be white, you could be Pakistani, you could be straight out of Wuhan, recovering from the coronavirus, and see him and say, my nigga. And you know what? I ain't gonna be mad at you because I've always said you should not be saying the word that you don't want people to say. Black people, we always say, oh, well, we took control of the word and we deflated it by saying nigga instead of nigger. Then on one hand, you got Oprah saying don't use it because that's the last word that people heard before they died. Then on the other hand, you use it so frequently that, you know, up in New York and in those communities where you have black and brown people like Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and black people, they all use the word because it's a community word. I get it that we think we own it. And I say we think because there are people that debate that too. I don't know. I'm not going to double down on that. But I will say, yeah, if you put it in a rap song, anybody has the right to say it. Sound off. Text me right now. Text me and tell me what you think. And don't be blowing up my phone because I ain't got time for it. But tell me.
I do feel like, you know, as her singing it, she had a responsibility not to say it. But it's like, the lines are so blurred. It's like, what do we want to happen? Like, we keep putting it in songs, and I'm not saying you don't have the freedom of speech to write whatever you want, but it's so okay when they go on stage and they say it. It's like, I don't know.
My nigga, show's over. Make sure that you subscribe to the show. Make sure you're sharing it to people. Make sure you're texting us. We love you. We know you're going to have a lot to say about this. I want to hear from you. Leave comments below, but also text us. I mean, now you got the number. I will share everything with Damage. Please don't blow up my phone with everything, but and the phone is right here, so it ain't far away. We love everybody. Melissa, we're thinking of you. This show is pure entertainment. We are going back to our boring lives now. Damage is moving to an unknown location.
Can't tell you.
And I ain't got nowhere to go. So, bye.
Until next time.
Peace. What up, YouTube? Thank you for watching this reckless show.
Yeah, and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.
And also don't forget to share and leave a comment because we are reading.